All right, never mind. The shop's completely trashed. So, kind of wanted to do a quick run through of how I like to see comp cuts done on XJs. So, obviously, throughout the progression, you'll see all kinds of fender cutting and stuff as guys go bigger and bigger tires. Kind of same thing here. So, eventually it ends up getting cut up and all that stuff. So, we like to just trim this all the way at this fender line, and then add a piece of tin so that way we can have a nice straight comp cut. We'll add a radius piece in here to just kind of make that transition a little bit smoother. But that's kind of what that looks like. As far as all this goes, I still need to clean this up a little bit, but I trimmed this back side here is like right where the back seat goes. So if I wanted to, I could put a back seat in it and the tubs wouldn't interfere with that. Probably never going to see back seats in this again. And then so we'll go through and tin this all back in. Let me show you inside. So this cut line is right along this bottom body seam that's already there. So just extend that all the way forward right here to this guy. I'm going to come down and close that off. As far as where this is going to get cut, so right now I basically have the tin floor just kind of cut where the return for this unibody rail is. It comes up and then bends out here, so I just kind of followed that for now. Haven't finished it yet. And then I just blew a hole in there because that's a straight line up from where my shock should be mounted on the leaves for now. So I'm going to just continue cutting this here, and then what we will do is just come in, make a bunch of relief cuts, and just fold this down and just burn that right onto the top here of the stiffener. This here I'm going to put a 1/4-inch plate because the cage that we have in there for now is just going to land on top of that. So I'm going to weld in 1/4-inch and completely box all this in. And then this all goes away, and then my new tubs will probably be landing, I'm going to say, right about here. So that was a straight line coming back here. So kind of just following this bend here if it went straight forward. That's kind of that. So then it will come up 14 inches, and it's going to completely encapsulate all of this. I'm going to have it run all the way back to here, right to the inner line of this rubber seal. We're not running the plastic trim on the trunk, so we don't need to worry about that. We're just going to cover that up with some dimple dyed aluminum or bead rolled aluminum, something like that. So my tub will come all the way here, follow, come around the cage and everything, just go there, and that should be nice and clean. We'll probably do some bead rolling on the faces of that just to make it a little more stiff and give it some looks. But yeah, so this guy is that line that I was talking about earlier that we like to cut there, add that filler piece in, and then just project a line. And probably I would just cut below this, come out here. So I can see on this one, went a little more aggressive. We're trying to make sure we have room for as much articulation as we can get. We're on leaves right now. Next year it's going length, so trying to give myself as much room as I can. Then this will just get all kind of boxed in. I can show you that as far as a semi-finished product down here. I just got crap everywhere. The shop's a mess, so deal with it or come clean it, one of the two. So the old ladies, we like the look of this one. Same thing, add a filler in nice and low. If you don't need maximum clearance, this is kind of what I would recommend, is just come down, cut 2 inches below this seam, and then you're going to bend it about 1 inch below, and you can bend this bottom inch up, and that will give you a nice return. So you can set this on. So then all you need to do is basically bend an easy 90 in your sheet, and then it's kind of the same thing here. So hers isn't, she's running, these are 38 pizza cutter boggers. So this is the floor you're looking at right here. We didn't go as aggressive. Mine's coming all the way to the frame rail. But, so basically wherever you decide, like this is just this guy. So you can, if you go in further like I did, then you can cut the floor out a little bit, or you can just add a piece of tin here right along the floor here, or just even leave that little piece in when you cut it out, and then you'll have something that this can back up to your piece of 90-degree tub. And then you're gonna have to box this off, obviously, which is normally, and that's why mine, I'm gonna put that 1/4-inch plate there so that can all just get boxed off really nice and not be open. She doesn't have the wicked big brackets that I got for leaf spring hangers. And then you can close this piece off and just burn this. Just put another 90-degree piece in here right there. Burn your inside corners, that's nice and easy. And then this will box off all that ugliness. Like, they normally get rusted out right there. Like, kind of right in here, they'll get awfully rusty. So, yeah, that basically is what they'll look like. You just have a nice piece that's, you know, you can break that 90 degrees. This was all just welded from flat pieces, but if you do have a break, you can do it that way. If not, then yeah, just burn it in like that. And like I said, mine, I'm going to run all the way back to the bottom of the seam, to the back of the seam. And then mine's actually coming up a little bit higher. So this is that seam that I'm cut at. And here, so I'm just gonna bring the top of my tub all the way to that and meet that. And then I can weld all of that and all of this here. And this was left a little bit low, obviously, because that's where her filler is. Obviously, your fuel door goes away. So that is, you know, just a neck fill welded onto the fender. So that's why this one was a little bit lower and not as high as I would have liked it to be. But again, she's running smaller tires. Max this thing will ever see for the foreseeable future is like 40s, because she's on 4 9-inch and a 44. So she's not going to go super big. And quite frankly, this thing goes everywhere she's brave enough to take it. So yeah, I guess that's kind of just so you can see. And then obviously it's just got a raised floor because this one's got a tank tuck on it. But yeah, so that is kind of the overall comp cut that, you know, actually looks clean when you get done, instead of just like a hacked up, cobbled up pile of shit, which is how 90% of them look. Takes a little bit more work, but you know, you can make it look good. So I'm not going to do a step-by-step on this. I feel like I've given you enough of the ideas on how to go about it that you can probably figure it out if you actually have the skills to do this. So yeah, man, I guess you guys have fun. I got a lot of work cut out for me.